What's up, guys? It's your boy Jay. Welcome to Jay's World, so let's talk. You know how we do it, so let's get into it. And welcome to a very, and I do mean very, special edition of Jay Topics. As a matter of fact, this edition is so special, I'm actually naming it the St. Louis edition. Oh yeah, right now, all things trending in the national news are coming out of St. Louis, Missouri. So let's get started. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about the hit show on OWN, Sweetie Pies. That's right, Sweetie Pies. Y'all remember that show with Miss Robbie, with Tim, with Janae, with Lil Charles, and all of the rest of the family. You know, they own that soul food restaurant. Well, guys, let me let you know, they are fighting. And when I say fighting, I mean the gloves are completely off. Now, to all of my day one Jay watchers, you guys know that I've actually covered a few videos on Sweetie Pies. As a matter of fact, I'm one of a handful of YouTubers that has actually covered this show. You know, remember when I actually visited Hamburger Heaven, you know, and I was outside, you know. So yeah, I really do love this show, and I hate that it left. But yeah, guys, they are actually fighting, and pretty much they are fighting about little Timmy. If you guys have not heard, both sides have actually gone on Instagram with their beefs. I think it started with Janae. You know, she's been going back and forth with actual fans of the show, you know, spilling the tea, you know, talking about Tim and Miss Robbie and the business and all of their financial dealings, you know, and saying that Tim was is a deadbeat dad and all of this stuff. I mean, she's actually interacting with the fans. So, of course, that forced Tim to actually respond with an actual video. And man, when I tell y'all Tim has let loose, I mean, Tim completely let loose about Janae. You know, he's exposed her for allegedly being a hoe, talking about how she tried to fight him at a club one night, talking about how she actually slept with one of the cameramen that was filming Sweetie Pies, talking about how she falsely accused him by calling the police on him, trying to get him arrested. I mean, it's just ugly, y'all. It is so ugly. And if that wasn't ugly enough, Miss Robbie is now in on it. She's releasing videos talking about Janae. I mean, she's like dragging Janae and accusing Janae of not allowing her to see little Timmy. So it's just ugly. And I'll just say this. I've pretty much have seen all of the videos, and I've heard all sides. And I will just be completely honest. I'm actually on Tim and Miss Robbie's side. I really am. I'm just rocking with Tim and Miss Robbie. And the reason why I say that, because I've just seen things in Janae on that television show that she's just always given me pause. I never really cared for her, you know. And I'll be honest, and here's the thing. I don't know Janae personally. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm only judging her from what I've seen of her on that show. And she's just always given me thirsty, gold diggerish, whiny, you know, manipulative. Those are just the things that she always gave me, and I never really cared for her character on that show. As a matter of fact, if you check out my video, Farewell to Sweetie Pies, I even touch on that a little bit. Again, like I said, don't have a dog in this fight. I don't know Janae personally. Who knows? Maybe she's a wonderful person off camera. But those are the things that she always gave off to me on that show. So, I mean, I really don't know how this is going to get resolved. I know at this point, they're actually going to court. You know, I forget, they have a court date coming up, and both sides are just, both sides are not budging. But I think the real sad part about it is this kid is right in the middle of this whole thing. So yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put a couple links down below to a couple of my Sweetie Pie videos, and also a link to another popular YouTuber's video that you may know. I'll leave a link to that one so you guys can check it out, because that's actually where I first found out about this. Can you believe it? I'm living right here in St. Louis and didn't even know all this was going on, y'all. Okay. So in other St. Louis trending news, I want to talk about Mayor Lyda Krewson. This lady right here, the mayor of St. Louis, she took to Facebook Live and read off the names and personal addresses of all the people that signed a petition to defund the police in St. Louis. Can you believe it? The mayor of the city. This is the person that's supposed to be for the people. This is the person that actually got voted in by the people of St. Louis. I personally did not vote for her. I did not want her as my mayor, so I didn't want her. But somehow she slid on in anyway and she got enough votes. But yeah, she actually took to Facebook Live and did probably, in my opinion, one of the most evil, spiteful things I have ever seen out of a mayor or any elected official. You know, hell, I don't even think Donald Trump has done anything like this. Oh, it's disgusting. And we are furious. I'm personally furious. The citizens of St. Louis are so furious about this right now. I just can't believe it. But yeah, so this is where we are with this mayor. Now there's a current petition to actually to have her resign. We really want her out of office now. I personally feel that she needs to resign as the mayor. You know, she clearly does not have our best interest at heart. She clearly has no problem with putting people's lives in danger by exposing actual addresses. Now, her people are saying that, well, you know, when you sign a petition, well, that's public knowledge anyway, so it's not like she exposed something that people couldn't have found out for themselves. Blah, blah, blah. Man, miss me with all of that. This woman got on Facebook Live and read off those names and addresses in relation to a petition to defund the police. Now, I know all over this country right now, people are feeling some kind of way about defunding the police because they really don't understand what defund the police really truly means. And that's a whole nother video I'll cover another time. But that's all beside the point. This woman exposed people's names and addresses. So we're furious about that. And as far as I'm concerned, she needs to go. Now, if we can't get her to resign, we are absolutely going to vote her out. She needs to go. This woman is dangerous for the city of St. Louis. Okay, well, in other St. Louis trending news, we have Mark and Patricia McCloskey, also known as Ken and Karen. Well, as I just explained to you guys about the mayor doing what she did, needless to say, we're all in an uproar here. So guess what? People are now protesting the mayor. So a bunch of protesters decided to storm the mayor's street. The mayor lives actually in the city. She lives in Central West End. I know there are a lot of reports saying that this happened in the suburbs. I believe Whoopi Goldberg even said it on The View. Not true. The mayor, this is St. Louis City, okay? So the mayor actually lives in the city, not in the suburbs. But anyway, beautiful gated community, you know, in Central West End. A really cool place to hang out if you ever come to St. Louis. But anyway, so the protesters pretty much allegedly, let me say allegedly, ripped down a gate to get into the on the actual street. So they're marching up the street. When out comes Mark and Patricia McCloskey, aka Ken and Karen, wielding guns. Oh yeah, they're like all out on their front lawn. Patricia McCloskey, she's hand on the trigger, pointing her gun. Her husband, Mark, he has this assault rifle that could kill several people in one shot, pointing his gun at the protesters. Not only were these protesters peaceful, they weren't even on the sidewalk. anywhere near their home. And by the way, this is a huge, sprawling mansion, beautiful mansion that Patricia and Mark McCloskey live in. Okay, so this isn't some little rinky-dink house. They are neighbors of the mayor. Okay, so that just gives you an idea as to what type of neighborhood this is. Like I said, they're outside pointing their guns, they're, screaming and yelling at the protesters. The protesters were very peaceful. The protesters got nervous because these are, like I said, these are peaceful protesters. You know what the protesters' weapons were? Cell phones, video cameras, and iPads. Okay, they pretty much recorded these two clowns from all angles. They were not violent. They didn't run up on their property, and it was just a whole mess. I don't know if you guys have seen any of the footage, but you need to check it out. It's a whole mess. Well, of course, now Ken and Karen, they're now making their rounds. They're on Fox News, they're on CNN, they're oh gosh, I forget a couple of the other networks or whatever, lying, changing their story with every interview, saying that protesters ran up on their property and they felt threatened and that's why they were using their guns. First of all, like I said, the protesters did not approach them at all. Many people have released videos of these two clowns, so it debunks all of their lies, okay? And here's my thing, and I was speaking to someone the other day, one of my coworkers, and he made a statement that was so true. If you guys have seen that mansion that they live in, most people that are rich like that usually have a panic room. And what would possess them to come outside of their mansion pointing guns at protesters? If they felt that threatened, wouldn't it have been more safe for them to stay inside, go to the panic room if they have one, and call the police? These protesters weren't even on the sidewalk, let alone near their property. So all of that was just a complete and total lie, So yeah, y'all, it's just a big old mess. All of this coming out of St. Louis. And it's so funny because you guys know I do these videos every week. I had no intention on talking about my city. My city. All of these stories are coming out of St. Louis, Missouri. A mess, huh? Yeah, y'all. Yeah, it's just embarrassing. I feel it's embarrassing to our city, Now the whole thing with Miss Robbie and her family, that's more sad than anything, so they can't help that. But the mayor of this city and those two clowns that are her neighbors, completely embarrassing. So to all of you that were offended and saw that video, I'm so sorry. Please know that all people in St. Louis don't act like this. It's just embarrassing. But yeah, so there you go, y'all. J Topics, the St. Louis edition. Didn't think I was gonna have to do it, but I had to. Well, guys, that's it. That's all I got. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and do what? Subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. What are you waiting on? You're already over here. And after you subscribe, please don't forget to hit the bell icon. Because when you hit that bell icon, YouTube will send you notifications of all of my latest videos. And you too can be down with the notification squad. That's it. That's all I got. I ain't got no more, y'all. And I'll holler at you later. Peace.